where you go when you put your heart in it. We going far, but the sky is the limit. There ain't no place like home. It's the kids' free trip to Africa, going back to the motherland. You gon' wish you were there with us. Pack your bags 'cause we're leaving now. Kids' free trip to Africa, going back to the motherland. You gon' wish you were there with us. Pack your bags 'cause we're leaving now. Where my sisters at? Where my brothers at? No. There ain't no limit to where you go when you put your heart in it. We going far, but the sky is the limit. There ain't no place like home. It's the kids' free trip to Africa, going back to the motherland. You gon' wish you were there with us. Pack your bags 'cause we're leaving now. Kids' free trip to Africa, going back to the motherland. You gon' wish you were there with us. Pack your bags 'cause we're leaving now. It's the kids' free trip to Africa.
All right, family. Kids free trip to Africa. That was the theme song you just saw. You just saw live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on the social media platforms. PA here in Big Rob. Got our big sisters in the building. Our big sister Karen Bowie is in the building. Our county clerk stopped by because we got a celebrity in the house.
Yeah.
Her boss is in the house.
My boss. Team, we're a team.
Secretary of State for the state of Michigan, Jocelyn Benson, is live in the studio right now. Welcome to Muskegon.
I love being in Muskegon. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. There we go. Good. I'm proud to be here. I love the city and I love coming here. And I got a great clerk, one of the best in the state here, making sure every voice is heard. And that is really our job as election administrators.
So how long have you been Secretary of State?
Since 2018.
Wow.
Yeah. Now
Time is
7 years.
flying.
7 years. Yeah.
So what are some of the things that you're proud of that you've been able to accomplish?
We have completely transformed that office. If you remember 2017, you had to wait in line 5-6 hours. I mean, I visited every single branch, including here in Muskegon, and saw it was unacceptable. We had people waiting in line, sitting on the ground, just trying to get their address changed, but being there for hours. We've completely eliminated that. Now you can get in and out of our branches in 20 minutes or less all across the state. We've put self-service stations in grocery stores so that you can do your grocery shopping and renew your license right at the same time.
Wow.
We've launched mobile offices to meet people where they are and deliver state services to people at senior centers, festivals. We'll bring some by the radio station someday. Renew your license right on the spot. But I believe government works best when it meets people where they are and makes your life easier. And that's exactly what we've been able to do overseeing the DMV.
20 minutes or less?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
It is a poster child for government efficiency and services done well. And now I'm running for governor because I want all of our state government to work that well.
Wow. That is, I didn't know this. I've been doing the mail-in thing because I'm like,
Which
man,
you
they
can
take
do,
too long over there.
Yeah.
I've been a whole shift.
You should come by sometime. Yeah, exactly. Come by. You'll see we have a lot of empty chairs in our offices now because no one's there waiting. You just get into your business and leave, which is the way it should be. That's what we should be demanding every government agency is. We are funding these agencies with our taxpayer dollars. We need to make sure they're running well and making our lives easier, not harder.
Wow. What as a governor, how would you streamline some of these processes?
Well, you look at the Department of Health and Human Services, LEO, which is about, where you start a business. It can cost thousands of dollars for small business owners, entrepreneurs to start a new business in this state. But in other states, it's $500. So we have far too many regulations, things that stand in the way of economic prosperity for every resident. I started my career in Alabama doing investigations into white supremacy and extremist organizations around the country.
Really?
And I was
I
really
didn't know that.
inspired. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
You didn't know that either,
That's
Paul.
right,
Wait a
that's right.
minute.
Secret
I know
right
you're
there.
going, Jocelyn, but wait a minute.
There.
Yeah, you just hit us with a sledgehammer because we didn't know.
But I do this work to continue the work of those who've come before us. In democracy, it was about standing in Selma and marching forward to make sure voting was real for everyone. But the unfinished business of the movement is about economic wealth and access to wealth. And so many things state government can do to streamline access to wealth and make it easier for folks to save money, to grow a business, to become financially successful. You know this, so many entrepreneurs in the state have
Yes.
so many great ideas, but we make it so hard to transform those ideas into wealth.
Yeah.
And I want to enact policies, and government should be doing this to enable everyone to have access to capital, access to wealth, access to economic prosperity in the state. And that's what will truly make us great as a state.
Wow.
So-
Well, I hope you can work with the liquor license because in Florida,
Yeah.
as a nonprofit,
I
I can get
know.
my liquor license probably within a week.
Exactly. And it is exactly what I want to change in our state. Because I've talked to small business owners who said I had to pay thousands of dollars to get licenses and inspections and certifications before I can even open my doors and serve my first breakfast. And, childcare providers, we see wait lists across the state of people wanting childcare, yet it's so hard to open a quality childcare facility because we've got so many hoops people need to jump through. So just the basics of making government work better for everyone will enable more people to get access to their ideas, to wealth, and all the economic strength that can come from that. And to me, that's what really fighting for justice and equity is all about.
So on your way to becoming governor, can you make it easier so we can get our results before 5 a.m.? Because I know I get tired of
Yeah.
pumping
Well,
caffeine to stay up. And
Yeah.
like I said, I was out of the country. 7-hour difference.
Yeah.
It was daytime in Ghana when
Yeah.
they got the result. It was in the noontime.
Yep.
I know that's not all on you, but
we have done a lot to get our clerks more machines so that you can count those ballots faster, support funds for more people so that you can process things more effectively. So I'm proud that, even though we have millions of people voting early or voting through the mail, we've been able to oftentimes get those results within a day of the polls closing. And other states take weeks. And so, it's one of the things we do well here in Michigan, thanks to the hard work of our clerks, but there's always room for improvement. So we're working to make sure things run even better for the next election and continue to grow.
so they can use the modem.
We do not connect our machines to the internet. No, we do directly connect and deliver those results to our counties so that we can make sure we're protecting the security of those results.
So people believe it was getting hacked or something.
Yeah, there was a lot of misinformation out there, but conspiracy theories that are still out there.
Theories, though,
but
right?
theories, no
They wasn't
facts,
proven.
no facts,
Okay,
no
all right.
evidence, no evidence.
That's why I'm up because of y'all with these
elections
theories.
Yep.
Well, last year we had early voting for the first time.
Yeah.
And thanks to our secretary, my boss, we did a consolidated site here. We
Yeah.
were on the test site.
Yeah.
There where we consolidated all of our jurisdiction except for 2. And now they're on board for the next
Good.
time
Good.
around.
Good.
And it was successful. We had 10,000 people come through our
Yeah.
head office for early voting. So
And that means ballots are being tabulated earlier.
yes.
And those results are coming in sooner. And Karen, you have done an extraordinary job out here in Muskegon. Really, making sure the processes work well for everyone, that every voice is heard, that people know their power and can
Yes.
trust the results of the election. It is not easy work
No.
administering elections. So thank you for stepping up and serving and just doing it exceptionally well. You've been really a great role model.
Do you have to stay up till 5 in the morning like we do?
Of course. No question. Because after those unofficial results come out, we've still got weeks of work to do to
Canvass.
recheck, to canvass, to make sure those paper ballot results align with the machine results. We do post-election audits. A whole bunch of stuff goes on after the spotlight goes away to make sure our elections remain secure. And that does take days of work. We never stop working in the field of election administration.
We're going to the board. We got some comments online. Then I'm gonna come to you, Big Rob and Karen. Jamie Green says starting a daycare was hell. She went on to say, then we opened up more children for
Pre-K.
pre-K and kindergarten, meaning daycare providers lost all 4-year-olds. Many of us didn't recover our numbers. Andy O'Reilly, the celebrity, our friend. Hello, all. Nice to see everyone. Thank you for
Hi,
joining
Andy.
in, Andy O'Reilly. Jennifer Ross, who's the city clerk in the city of Muskegon Heights, and the clerks appreciate the consolidation.
Yes, yes, that's right. It makes a big difference. And, I have heard stories from both parents around the state who have said, we want to be able to put our kids in a quality childcare facility, but there aren't any available. And then I talk to folks who want to start quality childcare facilities and say we can't because of all the regulations with the state. So we need to fix all of that and make sure it's easy and affordable to open a quality childcare facility. And then you've got sustainable models to ensure you're getting the funding you need to keep it going and provide that quality support for new parents around our state.
Well, voting integrity.
Mhm.
Do you believe our system is strong as it could be?
It is. I mean, we've got everything online that you can see and read through about what we're doing to secure our elections. Transparency is really critical to me, really important, because we want everyone to have rightly placed faith in their voice, in their vote, and in our elections. And there's so many politicians out there who are lying about the security of our elections. And what happens is not just that people lose faith, that faith that they should have in the security of our democracy, but our election administrators and our poll workers who are showing up every day to make elections work well for folks. You guys are then at the brunt of the anger and some of the threats that we get as a result of this misinformation and lies about our elections. But we just keep our heads down and do our work.
We sure do.
And make sure that every voice is heard, every vote is counted. We dot all our I's and cross all our T's and make sure processes run well and hope that fact and those evidence rules the day.
Right. And we always ask people I encourage people to come out for our public accuracy testing.
Yes.
So that they can test the machine for themselves. You
Yeah.
can come out, put the ballots upside down, and just to test the machines to ensure that everything is running correctly. We have ballots for each precinct, and every municipality does testing. In fact, it's going to be July 22nd. Beginning at 8 a.m. in all the municipalities. So.
Yeah. For every election, our clerks let the public come and actually see how our election machines work, so that you can have faith that they're accurately counting those paper ballots that go through them. There are so many layers of security of our elections, and so the best way to ensure faith in our process is to work as a poll worker, work with our clerks, and help run our elections, so you can see and be a part of protecting every voice and every vote.
Hey, Big Rob, if you don't mind, read this question from Andy O'Reilly. If you can see it, if not, I could read it.
I could ask the question, I guess. How about the casino, Miss Benson? We could really use an anchor
Yes.
attraction
To continue.
to continue.
Yeah. Well, we were talking earlier about the opportunities for economic growth in Muskegon are really rooted in developing places that people want to come to and then spend their money and invest in the region. So Michigan Adventure is a great example. It's a amusement park nearby here. Families all over can go there, but we've not done enough to actually grow that into a tourist attraction that could bring people from all across the country to play here in Michigan, in Muskegon. And so my vision for economic development in Muskegon is to really invest in what is making Muskegon great. Our people, our residents, our radio stations, our small business owners, our restaurants, our facilities, and tourist attractions like a Michigan Adventure that can be a great beacon for people to come here, spend money, stay here, and really help regenerate wealth in this city, in this area.
As governor, you're running for it.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you want to change on day one?
I want to make it easier to start a business in the state. Day one. We want to. Well, there's a lot I want. You asked me for one thing. But, we've got to streamline so many services in our state government, from Eagle to Leo to all the Department of Agriculture to our Health and Human Services. But we need an economic vision for the state that invests in our people and invests in places. So another thing I want to green light on day one is a budget that will create rapid transit throughout our state, so you can get around our state. Right? You should, yes. Right. You should be able to get from the east side to the west side, and under 2 hours. You should be able to get from Detroit all the way up north to Traverse City in 2 to 3 hours by light rail, by train, and make it easier, because that'll just bring more economic prosperity to every community in the state. My hope and vision for Muskegon is that it can also become, as I mentioned, a tourism beacon for our state and for residents all around the region. And investing more to make that happen will be a priority. But what I also want to do in my first budget, which we'll start drafting and crafting on day one, is making sure we're creating apprenticeship programs for every kid in the state. So when you graduate high school, you can immediately get a paid apprenticeship in the field that you want to go into, be it skilled trades or manufacturing or finance. And so you can get started in that career through experience right out of school. You don't need a 4-year degree to do that. That's the type of thing we can fund in our state budget on day one to make sure we're providing for students throughout our state.
Because some of us aren't built for college. I use PA, and I'll let him tell a story. He didn't graduate from college, but he's a very successful businessman. And PA, I hope you don't mind me mentioning this.
I was good at math,
because,
no engineering,
but
I did work for the state though, so it helped me out. But you're right, everybody. I'm a college dropout.
Yeah,
I was on my way to U of M. I went to Washington, but I saw opportunity using my skill set. And so everybody's not for college, but we're gonna go to the board because I know she got to get going, and we are already at 16 minutes. Time is flying.
I talk a lot. A lot to talk about.
Yes, yeah. I also got the fees.
Yeah.
I got to stay in Florida. I got a BMW X6 down there. I only paid $44 for my time for the year.
How much your tag?
My tag.
Yeah.
Up here,
I know.
3 or 4 times that.
Yeah, and I think it's exactly the opposite of what government should be doing, which is saving you money and saving you time.
Yeah.
And we need to re-examine how we're bringing in revenue to the state so we can stop, overtaxing our citizens and reallocate some things to close some loopholes that have been open far too long. For example, we all pay a gas tax in the state of Michigan. Unless you have a private plane, you don't have to pay tax on the fuel for those planes, right?
Yeah.
What? How is that exception there?
You didn't tell us. You didn't tell us about that, PA, with your private plane.
That private plane. You fuel it up, no tax. So we all need to switch from cars to planes. But my point is, there's lots of loopholes like that we can close to generate more revenue from our state to save citizens money and address the rising cost of living in our state.
Linda Vine says, "Good stuff. I admire them both. Benson would make a great governor." Leslie Solo Singleton, greetings and good luck. Urban areas often face high unemployment. What's your plan to create sustainable jobs in our city? How we support small business? You already talked about that, especially Black and minority-owned business in our neighborhood. Would your administration provide resources for entrepreneurship and financial independence in urban areas?
Yeah, as I mentioned, wealth creation is our unfinished business. It's the unfinished business of the civil rights movement. It's the necessary work that all of us fighting for justice and equity need to engage in. As governor, I'll be right there working to find unique ways that we can invest in our people, invest in our people's ideas, so that it's easier to start and grow a business in Michigan, and that we can build wealth for all. And I have a website, jocelynbenson.com. So thank you for your support for our race for governor. You can go there to learn more about our campaign and track everything we're doing along the way, and submit some ideas yourself for how we can make Michigan the best place to call home.
When is the primaries?
Next year. People start voting next June.
Oh,
so we've got a year
okay.
before voting begins. But at the same time, voting begins in local races and early voting this month for 2025. But the primary votes begin next summer, and then of course the generals next fall.
Wow.
So we've got some time. So
Good.
tell me your ideas so we can together make Michigan the best place to be a kid, raise a kid, start and grow a business, and call home.
So what are you doing in Muskegon today?
We're talking with folks about, we have a town hall tonight with the mayor and the deputy mayor and hopefully the clerk as well, as she can join us to talk with residents about what your needs are. What can government do better? How can we save you money? How can we make your lives easier? How can we help generate wealth and growth in communities like this one? And what do you need the state to do better to do all of those things? So we're collecting ideas, listening. I think so many leaders don't listen enough. We're quick to come with solutions and ideas, but we've always got to start with listening to a lot of the struggles that people are going through right now. Really hear and understand those struggles, those stories, and then take them with us to Lansing as we make budgets and laws that will alleviate that pain, address those struggles, solve problems, and make people's lives easier.
Last question, the state budget, it gives more money to public schools, but it cuts some food.
Yeah, it
What are your
does.
thoughts?
I think we need to end the one size fits all funding, because what a school needs in Muskegon is different than what a school needs in Alpena, and it's different than what a school needs in Grand Rapids and Kalamazoo and Detroit. So you need to invest more money in public education, but do it wisely, do it transparently, and do it to support our kids and our educators, providing mental health support for everyone, investing in smaller class sizes, investing in a more well-rounded educational resources so that we're teaching our kids how to read and write and do math, but also create citizens that will inherit our democracy and our future. And then also on the other side of that, as you graduate, enter into the opportunities to have a paid apprenticeship in career or tech fields or skilled trades or whatever you want to go into, so that a college degree is not necessary to be able to thrive economically in our state.
Anything else you want to say before we go?
I mean, my goal as a mom, as a wife of a combat veteran, as a military spouse, as the daughter of special education teachers, my commitment is to make sure Michigan is a place where you can afford to buy a home in the community you want to live in. You can afford to pay taxes on that home and heat that home, to that you can send your kids to quality schools and make sure they're going to come home safe, and that you know that state government is on your side, making your life easier. So join our effort. Go to jocelynbenson.com. Would love your help and support. My heart is here in Muskegon. I'll be here often to talk with residents like I'll be doing tonight, so that we can work together to make Michigan the best place to thrive and call home.
All right, there you go. Jocelyn Benson, Secretary of State, running for governor. Going back to more music this afternoon.
There ain't no limit to where you go when you put your heart in it. We going far, but the sky is the limit. There ain't no place like home. It's the kids' free trip to